Oh, hello guys. Today we're playing Mass Effect Andromeda and trialing out the Salarian operator? Salarian operator, I think that's the name of it, or I'm mistaken again. You know how good I am with these characters' names and their bad choices of powers, etc. Hopefully you would by now anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and call him the Salarian operator. He's got he's got a unique power to him. Oh jeez, which I just used there, which is called invasion. Kind of like the name states, you've got like parasites or something kind of nanobots, I think the description says, that fly towards the enemy and latch onto them, giving them some kind of defense debuff. Just as standard. So if the enemy's taken down, if I can... It deals damage to them as well. That wasn't the damage, it didn't just annihilate it. Someone was shooting the guy, but it does initial damage on impact, of course, because it has to invade their body, which is not going to be like this seamless process. So it does deal a little bit of damage. I think it's like 35, but if it says 35 per little red orb that comes out, then that can end up dealing to a lot down the line. Missed. Because he's invisible! But, hello, I'm your friend! Stab! Oh. Do you not know who my Salarian friends are? I'll show you. Allah! Whoa! That was a close one, don't you think, my comrade? Come. He's dead. Anyway, so. Opportunist! Oh, they're taken as well. But, basically this guy is paired with... Oh, they're nice. Paired with shield boost and overload. So, oh, that was bad. This guy's meant to be a support class, and by all means, with these abilities tied to him, definitely fits the bill. Oh! Wrecked. So, the way I'm using Invasion right now, which is the main ability that is equipped with this character, I haven't seen on any others yet, is to give the enemy a 35% defense debuff, and I also think it gives some kind of damage debuff as well, or that might be in a later upgrade. However, for now, with the N7 Hurricane, which unleashes a buttload of ammo really, really quickly, I think using this weapon in terms of the invasiveness defense debuff that it gives is a great way to kind of utilize the power to its fullest. I like that. Oh, okay. Already the health is just getting rinsed. I mean, I don't know if it's from the Ishray, but it's definitely getting rinsed out. Overload is one of those powers that you can hold and charge, and if you charge it up, then it trails to additional targets. If the enemies are glowing red with my ability, that means they are suffering from the debuff that I'm giving off. If I get in a pinch, I can use shield boost, and I can give myself back the shield that was taken from me initially. What the fuck? Oh, fix the down thing. Why can I not Whoa. What did you do to me? I can carry 5 revives into battle now. That's not good. Oh, it's going to be addictive. But yeah, I didn't use shield boost there. Noob decision of me, but I was kind of concentrating on talking to you guys. So basically, this character fits the bill of its support kind of niche that they've added to this character. Being a Salarian also means they're tech operatives and they don't really have much heavy gear on them. As you can see, the armor doesn't particularly look that protective on them already, and as such, they can't really carry anything. There's no, just like the architect. Oh, hello. Did you die? What? Where did you? No, 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 no. That did not happen. So, just like the servers there, GG to the servers. This is disgusting and heavily disappointing. Of course I've lost connection to the servers. But basically what I was saying about the character, when this eventually logs back in, is that the character is purely supportive. You use invasion for enemies, which can also, which I forgot to mention, invasion can actually spread itself between enemies like an infection. So depending on how you upgrade it, it'll end up leading to those kinds of those powers that you can actually infect loads of people in an area, so they all inhibit this defense debuff. And I think if you upgrade it as well, damage debuff also. Oh, unable to connect. Oh, jeez. But so basically, this guy's supposed to run in, as I see it, shield boost his comrades, or hang back in line with people that are infiltrators, etc., and shield boost them if they need it. From the back lines, you can also throw in invasion and take out shields via overload, fully charged to multiple enemies. And that's basically how I kind of see it working out. And I've connected. I assume I've been connected. Also though, invasion that I've been looking at so far, when it upgrades to the rank 6, it turns into one of the mutators is that if an enemy reaches 15% health, then it triggers an explosion within them. I think if I remember correctly, it triggers an explosion. So the explosion obviously eliminates the enemy once they reach 15% health. As well as that, it also spreads invasion to nearby enemies. Everyone loves a good defense debuff, so long as it's the enemy and not yourselves. Are you serious? I'm really sorry for this, guys. Probably one of the worst fucking videos in a while, man. This is one of the really disappointing things about this game, is that this shit happens. It's not bad enough that it feels like a half-made fucking game, which is a serious disappointment for the Mass Effect trilogy already out. But the multiplayer servers have just turned into dog shit. They are just so bad. They're so bad, and it's just they're making this more and more of a terrible service to have handed out. Are you going to log me in properly now? Because if you log me in properly, that would be amazing. I could actually get on properly with the build discussion of this character. But kind of like the Salarian architect, the operator can't carry heavy weapons with him. He'll end up facing a recharge delay. Oh look! Oh my god! Did I level up at all? No? Oh, Okay then, level 1 still. Brilliant. So, infects opponents with an invasive VI controlled machine swarm that weakens defenses and spreads itself to nearby enemies. Defense debuff 25%, not 35%, my mistake. Duration is 15 seconds, the damage initially is 30. I don't know if that's per ball, or because you have like multiple things being shot out of the character. So I don't know if that's that, or otherwise. But it seems to be dealing more than 30 damage. I mean, unless enemies have disgustingly low health in bronze, but anywho, recharge time is 24 seconds, which is a bit extensive, even with a 10% recharge speed at rank 2. However, the spread radius is also 6 meters, so enemies within the 6 meter radius of the person that's currently infected will also get infected. Rank 2 is recharge speed, so it recharges faster than the 24 seconds, which is crazy, and a 30% duration, so it ends up lasting longer and the enemy suffers from that defense debuff longer. Rank 4 or 5. So, plus 30% recharge speed, if you really want it, or invasion now infects up to 3 enemies near the target location. Now, taking in mind that this guy is a support class and that this power is to basically deprive enemies of their defensive capabilities, I would say that having Outbreak, where it infects up to 3 enemies near the initial target, is probably a really good thing. Not only for yourself if you're picking off those targets, but for allies as well. It means they can finish them off quicker, getting the wave over quicker, and basically making everyone happy that they're not dying constantly. They can actually annihilate enemies and nothing's too much of a struggle. So for me, I'll go Outbreak. Once I won't be too. This doesn't seem like a power that, I mean, its duration is already long enough. This is probably why the recharge speed is so high. But I don't think this is a power that needs to be spammed. It's not there for the damage, but it is good that it deals damage and makes sense because it's an invasive power. So for me, Outbreak is what I'll go for. Rank 5. Epidemic or Weaken. Invasion lasts longer and spreads to more distant enemies. Plus 40% duration and plus 20% spread radius. So instead of it being, what is it, 6 meters, it's like 7. Whoa. Pardon me. That was me yawning and covering my mouth. Instead of it being 6 meters, it's going to be maybe like a 7.2 meters spread radius for the invasion, which I think is really good. Or you can give them the 10% enemy defense debuff, which brings a 25 to 35% enemy defense debuff. Depending on what you want, whether you want it to infect more enemies and last longer, or in a wider area, should I say, or you want them to be more weaker than they initially are already. From what I've seen during the rampant gameplay that ended considerably early, it does, the 25% already there does actually show a lot of defense debuff and sort of attacking targets. Targets that would usually take more from the Hurricane to, say, take down, were being taken down incredibly quickly. And for the Wraith as well, I shot at it, someone was shooting at it and it got taken down almost instant, whereas before you still have to give it quite a few bullets even on bronze. So I think if you really want Weaken in, especially for the higher stages like Silver and Gold, and by all means. But for me, I'm probably going to go Epidemics, because I want it to last longer. I don't want to have to be, okay, I've infected it, now I have to take it down before it wears off. I want to have it to last longer, and I want it to infect people in a wider area than they're already in. So when I've dealt with one person, hopefully I have enough time to deal with the other guys it infects. So for me, Epidemic 5. Rank 6, Virulence or Sabotage. When an afflicted enemy falls below 15% health, invasion triggers an explosion that damages the enemy and other enemies nearby. What I assume this means is that the 15% health, once reached, the explosion actually when it says damages the enemy, I assume it kills the enemy it's invaded. And then it damages other enemies around it, obviously, because it's an explosion. But 15% health is great. You know, if it causes an explosion, damages other enemies, it kind of eliminates the need for you to finish that specific enemy off, because they'll be hopefully annihilated from this damage, although it doesn't say how much damage it does, which is why it makes me think that it actually just kills them outright once they reach 15% health. Don't forget though, this isn't only for this target, this is for every target with this health debuff, with this defense debuff, sorry. So if you've inflicted 3 targets with this and the one in the middle ends up getting 15%, that explodes, and the 2 on the side end up getting 15% from that one explosion, you've got explosions everywhere happening because of this ability. You can either have virulence or sabotage, which is basically they do less damage to you, which is minus 15%, which isn't a great deal less, especially on the gold tiers. They can still rinse your shields and health if they wanted to. They can still do it even with the minus 15% enemy weapon damage. So for me, I'm going to ignore debuffing their attack. I'll keep the defense option that's already given, and I'll go with virulence for that 15% health reach explosion. I'll see that being very useful in the later stages. So rank 1 to 3 would be the same, rank 4 would go Outbreak, rank 5 would go Epidemic, and rank 6 I'll go Virulence. Overall, probably one of the best abilities I've seen so far for a Salarian, aside from the Remnant VI with the new Salarian Architect. Shield boost. As described in the the Angaran Sergeant, it reinforces shields of nearby allies, and including yourself, and it also gives a boost for a couple seconds afterwards, which is, in this case, it's shields restored per second 50 for 3 seconds, and initial shields 125. Rank 1, Rank 2, and Rank 3 are pretty much standard. Rank 3 increases the amount of shields given per second, and also how much shield gets restored the moment the power is activated, and Rank 2 decreases the recharge speed. Rank 4 is the radius and restoration. If you want to affect a wider radius, you don't want to have to rely on allies to be close to you when you're using this, then by all means go radius. That'll give it a much wider field of scope, and you can use it pretty much when you're what is the radius here actually? 6 meters, you're increasing it by another 40, so you're probably Call of Duty Infinite Warfare version installed. Oh god, sorry. 40% effect radius. So instead of having 6, you're gonna have close to 9-8 meter radius, which is quite extensive on the battlefield. So if you want that, then go for radius. For me, I'm gonna go for shields per second restored, because for the 3 seconds that it is active for, I want it to restore as much shield as it possibly can, so I don't have to worry about the next time I have to activate it. Though I probably will be anyway during gameplay. But once it's there, I have that extra boost of shield coming in through the seconds. Rank 5, recharge speed or shield burst. 30% recharge speed, pretty much standard. Rank 5, 30% recharge speed. It's pretty much up to you and how you want this power to go around. The recharge time is 15 seconds. It is 15 seconds and probably going to be about 13 or 12 once you've got rank 2 there. But if you want to add another 30%, almost halving the recharge speed to about 8 seconds, 9 seconds, and go ahead, sorry, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. You can either have recharge speed or shield burst, which increases the initial shield restoration. The other one increases the shield over time, but rank 5 increases the initial burst of shield that's restored when the power is activated. So just like rank 4 restoration, I'm going to go with shield burst to rank 5. Get as much shield as you can as quickly as you can. Overcharge. Increase maximum shields of all affected targets by 100% for 3 seconds. Or extended duration. Increase duration of ongoing shields restoration by 150%. You can restore shields for that much longer, or you can overcharge the shields and have basically 200% max shield, whichever that may be for you. May lead to you having 800 shield. Depends on your character. For me, for this character in particular, before I've gone for extended duration for my Angarian Surgeon with this character itself, and it's kind of weak nature. I'm going to go for overcharge, so I can overcharge my abilities, have more shield rather than limited amount. I don't know if after the 3 seconds the extra shields that you have overcharged end up dissipating, but if that's the case, I'll end up probably changing it. But if that's not the case, then I'll probably end up keeping this 100% max shields thing that goes on with this power once it reaches max rank 6. So for me, rank 1 to 3 is standard, rank 4 restoration, rank 5 shield burst, and rank 6 overcharge. Overload. Kind of a great ability, doesn't matter which kind of species you're targeting, which enemy you're targeting, because it affects everyone. You give a neural overload to human enemies, and if you're facing synthetics it does more damage, as well as if you're facing shielded enemies. So with overload, the longer you hold the button, it gets to a certain point, it will overload and it will chain to 2 additional targets once fired. It detonates combo primers, pardon me, and it deals slightly less damage to those chained, but it deals shield damage bonus of 200% and 30% for synthetic enemies such as Remnant, and I assume Hydras as well. Rank 2 is recharge speed, and rank 3 is increasing all its damage that you see on the right hand side. Rank 4, damage again, or recharge speed. So this recharge speed is about 15 seconds again. If you go there, you're going to end up getting a 30% recharge speed reduction on there. I'm not too fussed on it. I mean, they are quite heavy abilities, and the initial damage is 150 uncharged and 200 charged, which is it's pretty high considering. So 15 seconds seems a bit. It's alright. It's going to be less once you get rank 2, obviously. But if that's what you want to go for, you want to use the ability more and more, then by all means go for recharge speed. For me, I'm going to go damage. It's an ability that can cause really high damage in a short amount of time to multiple enemies. So about to 3 enemies, I think it is. Which is a great thing because it also detonates them. So if one or more of them, say someone with Annihilation comes along and just primes everyone with their biotic ability, use overload and it chains to everyone. You've got biotic combos going left, right, center. With this initial damage, you're causing more damage with the initial hit as well as the biotic combo. From a scaling effect, I don't know the algorithm off the top of my head, but it is scaled by the powers used. Having more damage, especially with this ability, and who you're going to end up targeting, which is shielded personnel, then probably going to be better to do damage than recharge speed. So for me, rank 4, I'll go damage. Rank 5, anti-shield or charged overload. Change to 1 additional target when charged. So instead of how many is it? How many does it say it is? Cause it to change to 2 additional targets. Yeah. So when I said 3, obviously that's what I meant there. So okay. Rank 5, charged overload, change to 1 additional target when charged. Basically what it's saying is instead of charging to 2, it basically strings to 3 different enemies. Which is great. It's a great thing to have more enemies afflicted by this overload. If they're unshielded, they end up getting this, as you can see in the left hand side preview just now, they get stunned from the electrical overload that their body gets. And if it's a shielded enemy, then all of them are going to end up getting heavy shield damage to them, meaning that they're more open and more suspect to all the fire that's going to be placed upon them. You can either do that or add, I think it's already at 200% damage bonus to shields, but you can also increase that to 50% extra. That's all up to you. For me, I'll probably end up going charged overload. I want it to chain to as many enemies as possible, so that it doesn't only increase the benefits of me applying damage to them, but also allies when they come across this guy being electrically kind of like violated, I'll say, electrically violated. Rank 6, EMP or maximum charge. If you don't like, if you've chosen 5 and you want to do a charge overload, chaining it to 3 enemies, and you want more, maximum charge makes it chain to 4 enemies extra from initial impact, and as well as that, it increases the chain damage by 30%, which makes it 130 chain damage per enemy. If you don't want to do rank 5 and want to go anti-shield and then do maximum charge, it basically works out the same way if you're kind of doing the top row of rank 5 and 6 to the bottom row rank 5 and 6. It works hand in hand. You can skip one chain out and you can still chain up to 3 enemies depending on how you want to use it. For me though, rank 5 is going to be charged overload, and rank 6 I'll do EMP. Damage versus shields that way is 50%, and you also get the buff of doing extra damage to synthetics. Kind of like the main reason I didn't go for it on rank 5 is because it's, for a rank 5 ability, it's just adding 50% more damage to shields, whereas this gives also damage extra to synthetics. So for me, rank 1 to 3 is the same. Rank 4 I'll go damage, rank 5 I'll go charged overload, and rank 6 I'll go EMP. Offensive tech and support systems is almost identical to the Salarian Architect, with the lack of the tech construct that the Salarian Architect has, which differs with this passive ability for this Salarian operative character. Like I said, normal kind of passive trees, especially the, as you can see, this is the first one you end up getting to, offensive tech. Rank 3 usually has weight capacity, but this passive tree doesn't have it until rank 6 with weapon of mass reduction, which is kind of a pain because when your end game character, once it reaches its level 10 capacity equivalent and its actual character level is level 20, you can only really have 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have about 4 trees maxed if you sacrifice 1 power. So 4 trees maxed if you sacrifice the use of 1 of these powers. If you don't, then you can have 3 trees maxed and 2 kind of median. So for this, having rank 6, your weapon weight capacity is a bit of a killjoy. So for me, I'll probably end up ranking it up to power to rank 3 power augmentation. So plus 10% weapon power damage, plus 8% weapon damage, plus 10% power damage again. So by rank 3 you have 20% extra power damage, which bolsters your invasion and your overload. Rank 4, power enhancement or combo detonation. You can either add more power damage by 10% and increase the effective duration of all powers by 20%. So for instance, the invasion time of how long something stays infected, or the overload time for when someone's getting stunned, etc. It'll increase the duration of that, or you can increase the combo detonation damage and radiuses. For me, I'll go power enhancement. With previous characters I've gone combo detonation, mainly because it is to do with their powers they currently have on hand. So for me, I'm going to go power enhancement and increasing everything, because I'm a support class. If I'm going to be dealing damage if I want to deal heavy damage, I'll end up doing that through this tree here, which gives me extra damage and power effect duration. Rank 5, you can go anti-shield or anti-armor. I'm going to go anti-shield. This guy seems pretty heavy on getting rid of anti-shielded enemies. But actually, thinking about it, This guy really has a lot of anti-shield, like I just said. He's really got a lot of anti-shield. So I'm probably actually going to go, I'm going to go anti-armor. I'm going to go 30% power damage bonus to armor. 30%, yeah. Overload already takes a heck load of damage bonus for shields, and it's already going to have 50% extra when I've reached the EMP line on rank 6. However, this will enable it to do a bit more damage to armored enemies, which weapons can't necessarily do on its own. Rank 6, I'm going to go Weapon of Mass Reduction, as this guy doesn't really have any elemental tech. This has Overload, which does electricity, but it's not going to be like something that this guy does all the time. He's going to be using Overload to take out shields, not to necessarily prime enemies for detonation. Or should I say detonate, because Overload is a detonator, yes. So for rank 6, I'm going to make sure he can carry more, and that his weapons accuracy and kick, because he's a frail Salarian, I'll make sure that his weapons kick and accuracy are bolstered by 15%, as well as him being able to carry something more than just an N7 Hurricane. Support systems, self-defense for the team and himself. Rank 1, shield regeneration, health regeneration, and regeneration delay reduction by 25% all round. Rank 2, plus 20% for health and shields, and plus 20% restoration and defense. Rank 3, 30% melee damage for himself. So rank 1 to 3 is standard for kind of this support tree, support systems tech passive tree. Rank 4, tech duration or tech radius. It's plus 30% power area of effect radius, or plus 30% power effect durations. For me, I'll end up going possibly I'll go tech duration. It may change. I may go to tech radius depending on when I use the abilities and how I see the abilities actually taking effect in the field. But for now, I'll go tech duration, so everything lasts longer and it gives me more time to think when I'm in the field. Rank 5, support systems, plus 20% shields and health, plus 30% power restoration and defense, or tactical revive. So if you're going to be that guy, no one else is going for the teammate that you can obviously see, you can run in there and while you're reviving them have 120 damage resistance, meaning you take less than half the damage you'd normally receive from an enemy. And once you've revived whichever ally you've gone to, you receive full shields, and you also get 120 damage resistance after revival for 5 seconds. This is a serious clinch opportunity to make sure that you get your allies up and that you can run off somewhere and regroup and then retake the enemies that you would initially taken out. If you don't like the tactical revive options, support systems is always great for increasing your own max shields and survivability, including the power restoration and defense for things like the shield boost that this character has. Rank 6, shield reset or tech sabotage. Hitting enemies with powers causes them to temporarily deal less damage for 8 seconds at a 30% damage debuff rate, or shield reset once every 10 seconds using a tech power causes shields to recharge immediately rather than after a standard delay. For someone like the Salarian Architect, I chose shield reset, but for this character I'm going to choose tech sabotage because in Invasion I avoided the damage debuff mainly because of the support system, which gives it a 30% damage debuff. So whenever you use a power, say you use Overload, it chains to 4 initial enemies, assuming you've gone down that route. They all receive a damage debuff of 30% for 8 seconds, and if you've hit them with Evasion instead, then depending on how many enemies that hit, I think as well as it's 3 or 4, they all have this damage debuff of 30% for 8 seconds, which is great. They suffer damage debuff, and they also suffer a defense debuff. So for me, it would be tech sabotage. So rank 1 to 3 is standard, rank 4 tech duration, rank 5 tactical revive, and rank 6 tech sabotage. For the loadout, as you can see, the guy carries. This is a guy, by the way. The Salarian Architect is a female. This guy can carry really light equipment. I don't know actually know how much does the Hurricane actually weigh. 25. So if we go the usual equalizer and then say, okay, so it can carry two pretty decent weapons. I mean, I have got these at higher levels. That's at 9, and then this is at 4. Is it 4? Meh. So for me now, I was just simply trying out the N7 Hurricane. As you can see, it doesn't like it. 7%. N7 Hurricane is pretty beastly, despite what seems to be the lack of damage. It is a rank 1, and if I'm comparing it to the Equalizer, which is a rank 4, N7 Hurricane, it feels like it might do more damage than the Equalizer once it's at the same kind of stage. So as it is, I think the N7 Hurricane is a brilliant weapon to use. Its accuracy is a bit lacking, but if you're close to an enemy and you have certain boosts up that increase your accuracy and stability, then you won't have anything to worry about. They haven't released anything for tech operatives yet, so I've just equipped standard Juggernaut Shield to increase melee damage, shield by 10% and melee by 75%. So for me, you can equip 2 pistols of light capacity and weight. Wow, the Sidewinder actually weighs just 7. Something I didn't realise before, but but yes, this guy won't be able to carry anything too heavy, and for me the N7 Hurricane seems to be a good fit for this guy. However, if you want to use the Equalizer and the Scorpion, then by all means go ahead, or whichever weapons you want to load out for him. You can't carry much, but if you end up upgrading that offensive system tree and you end up getting a plus 50% weapon capacity, you can carry basically another heavy ordnance weapon, etc. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed everything that I've said. Sorry about the server delay. I know it's not quite my fault, but it's annoying when I'm recording a video and for things like that to happen. I haven't been able to upgrade this character just yet since the mission that we were doing failed on rank 7 and everyone got booted out, I assume. But as it stands for now, leave a like and subscribe if you really like the video, if you enjoy what I'm saying. Leave comments in the section below. None of you guys seem to be doing that, which is kind of a disappointment. But if you want to see me do something in particular, trial out some specific weapons you feel like I haven't really spoken about, which I might end up doing a series on weapons and their abilities and how good they are, how they compare to Mass Effect 3, etc. But if you want to see me do anything in particular, feel free to leave me in the comment section below. Add my PSN Katashikun without a space, and I'll gladly play some missions if you help you get your Apex rating up and level up some of your characters. Thank you very much guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.